silence came. This is my act of remembrance. Ooh, my act of remembrance.
Mitch Agnew, I'm now the National Development Manager of the Scottish Youth FA here at Hampden, but previously I was the Secretary of the Association of Scottish Youth Football Clubs, and my memories of Jimmy Lynch go back many years. Jimmy was a larger than life member of most of the committees that we had in the old association, and attended all executive committee meetings. I can fond memories of Jimmy. I've been on many trips with Jimmy Lynch. I can remember Annecy-le-Vaux, French Alps, beautiful tournament. I can remember him in Milan, Holland. In fact, the funny story about Holland is that once we were staying in Utrecht, and some other worthies of the association, Archie Sharkey and Ian Richardson, were in for a wee swim with my youngest son Chris, and Jimmy Lynch is in swimming with them as well, and Jimmy announces, "I'm away for a shot in the jacuzzi." And everybody kind of looked at each other because they hadn't seen one, but Jimmy jumps out and he goes over, and there he is, sitting in the kids' paddling pool, wanting to know where all the bubbles were going to be coming from. Jimmy's a larger than life man, great friend of the association, great friend of football, and sadly missed.
My name's Archie Sharkey, I'm from the west of Scotland, and I'm the exception to the rule. I'm the wise man from the west who's come to talk to the people from the east. I've known Jimmy for years, and everybody's got their favourite story about him, but my favourite one is the time there was a presentation dinner for Stuart Tulloch in Edinburgh when he got his MBE. I was asked to chair the event, and there was an after dinner speaker called Craigie Veach, and I'd never heard Craigie before, but I had to introduce him, and he was excellent. He was a professional after dinner speaker. My problem after that was I was supposed to do a speech as well. I was rather petrified, but I started, and at the end of it I was quite happy. It went down quite well. People laughed when they were supposed to laugh, and I was really chuffed with myself. Later on in the evening, this gentleman came up to me and said, "I've never met you before, Archie, but I honestly thoroughly enjoyed your talk. You're very sincere. Obviously you know Stuart very well. Well, Craigie Veach is excellent, but he could be speaking anywhere." And I thought, you've just made my night. Unfortunately, Jimmy came up next, shook my hand, and he said, "Archie, I feel really sorry for you." He said, "You were an amateur against a professional." He said, "It was complete and utter embarrassment. You'll be looking for a wee hole to go into now and crawl in it and die because you were pathetic." And I thought, my God, Jimmy, that's you. Tell us it as you see it. If you don't like it, too bad. But I've got to be perfectly honest, I still remain very friendly with Jimmy after that. That says something about Jimmy.
Yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who's heaving to you. But I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more to be the man who walked 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm walking, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who's working hard for you. And when the money comes in for the work I do, I'll pass almost every penny on to you. When I come home, oh, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home to you. And if I broke...
Welcome to the boardroom of the Tynecastle Club, the inner sanctum of where all the decisions are taken, and Jimmy used to be part of making those decisions in his day. A lot of management decisions have been made here over the years that have taken us to where we are. At the back of the room, going over to my right, there's a lot of trophies and cups that were won, especially a lot of those that were won overseas, and those are the ones that Jimmy enjoyed most. Some of those other trophies to the top, they were won locally, A lot of hard work and dedication by people to get those trophies on our shelves. And Jimmy had a big part to play in those as well. Jimmy actually has been involved in youth football for more years than we care to remember. He originally started with the local youth club, Pentland, up at Oxgangs. Coincidentally, it's where I started my football career as well, in management. Then he moved on to Calvary Park, and Jimmy always spoke very fondly of his time at Calvary Park. He had great memories there. I'm sure he must have been there about 10 or 15 years. And then he moved on to Royston Rosebery, a club that was actually run by his brother Peter. And I think that was for about 3 years before he moved on to Salveson. He didn't, to be fair, speak very kindly of Salveson. I don't know if he really enjoyed his time there. So when he got the opportunity to come to Tynecastle back in 1990, I think it was a great help to him to get somewhere else to go to. And he came here and served as a team secretary, served on the management committee, became chairman, and then became honorary president in his latter years. Then and he also served on association committees in the East Region. He became chairman and he was secretary. He just wanted to be involved. And the same with the Scottish. He became attached to committees, player protection committees and appeals committees. He would serve on it. He would gladly give up his time